Stuff. Wonderful wonderful presentations, and great reaction from the students. So let me get into this. It's called the Science Exploration Day. It's held at the University of Buffalo, and this coming Exploration Day will be on March 18th, 2026 at UB's North Campus. And all the students will be bussed in to the North Campus in the morning, and we'll be there for most of the day. As you can see, when it's March 18th, 2026, but it goes from 8:30. Actually, presentations don't begin at 8:30 quite, but the students will be arriving around 8:30, goes to about 1:30. Last year we had almost 700 students. We expect 900 students this year. We have in the past, I've been told, up to 1,200 students in past years from local high schools. And these are high schools from mostly Buffalo, but also from the surrounding area and the region, Western New York area. And the science teachers who are responsible for identifying the students who are interested in coming and bringing them select what we believe are those individual kids who are really interested in pursuing science as a career. And of course, it's great for the University of Buffalo because many of these students are looking at UB as a place to do their post-secondary education. And what's great about it is that they're already hearing from potential professors and lecturers in the areas that they're interested at this particular event. So again, our goal is to provide high school students with an exciting opportunity to become familiar with exciting research. And we're looking at it's a STEM program, so science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and of course, biomedicine and medicine is very closely connected with the science, and it's a great research area for young individuals to look at pursuing those areas as well as science, engineering, technology, and mathematics in their futures. So what we're asking of those who are interested in presenting, what is a topic that captures the attention of students? And I've always said anything can be interesting. The research you're doing, the ideas that you're presenting to your students, undergraduate and graduate, even can captivate the students at the high school level. So really anything that is interesting to you and interesting to your post-secondary students could be interesting to the students at the high school level, provided it's done in a way that will give them a sense of the enthusiasm you have and the excitement about the topic that is existing. So we're looking for exciting presentations. And of course, we get those all the time when we have the SED. And interaction where possible. I mean, it's a great thing when we can even involve the students a little bit, asking them maybe questions or having them comment or interact with the presenter or among themselves. And that makes an engaging, a dynamic, enjoyable presentation for the students, which I know everybody will provide. So we have classrooms available and lecture halls available at the North Campus. And some of the presenters are interested in doing it within a lab setting because that's where the topic that they're presenting can be most demonstrated and presented. So you will, if you're interested in presenting, you would tell us that you needed a classroom or lecture hall. We would book that for you, depending on the number of students you're willing to accommodate. Or if you are going to do it in the lab, then you would let us know within the UB North Campus where you would like us to bring the students for that presentation. It is entirely up to you to decide on how many. There's three sessions times. There's three session time slots. And so you could present 1 to 3 times, once, twice, 3 times, whatever you wish. And you also identify how many students you're willing to accommodate. And of course, it might be 200 students, it might be 100 students, it might be 25 students, it might be 15 students. We try to keep it no lower than 15 if we can help it. But in some cases where there's a lab setting, maybe a little bit less than 12 or 15 might need to be accommodated. So, but you decide which number you would like to have as attendees for your presentation. Here are, I've got three sample sessions. This is an example of what the students, we will provide them with a program. And this is what they would see in order to make the decisions as to which sessions they want to attend. And we give them a first choice, second choice, third choice, not guaranteeing that we're always going to give them their choices, but we try to accommodate as much as possible. So what they're going to look at is John Chrysidis, and he's in mechanical and aerospace engineering, and he's been with us since I started 4 years ago. And this is an example of what he provided us so that the students can read The Dangers of Space Junk, and you can see his little description of what this session will provide. So we have engineering there. Here's another one from chemistry, Tim Cook. And this is one where he actually takes the students to the lab, and they look at things that they would never see in a science class in high school, but are common in the research labs within universities, and they can see what they would be looking forward to working with in their future. And then another one here from the Department of Environment and Sustainability. We have two presenters here. So, presenters can there can be more than one presenter. In some cases, we even have 3 or 4 presenters at one time. So here are some of the high schools that have already identified their interest in attending for this coming year. We've also had a few testimonials here from teachers. Thank you so much for organizing this opportunity for 25 local schools. The event made a positive impact on our students and exposed them to life as college student at UB. And we appreciate all the hard work that was put into this day. This was and always has been a great opportunity for our students and teachers too. And teachers do attend the sessions. And we're already looking forward to next year. And that's a common type of testimony we'll get from teachers. And we've gotten some from students too that indicate their excitement about having been there. So I said there was 3 session times, but there's actually 5, but 3 and 4 are for our keynote speaker and lunch. So half the students will have attend the keynote speakers session at session 3, and the other half will have lunch, and then that's flipped for session 4. So there's no presenters from UB who will be presenting at sessions 3 or 4. However, you could decide on 1, 2, or 5. If you were to do 2, say for instance, we would make sure that you had the 2 that are contiguous, 1 and 2. So that's about it. I'm happy to take any questions or comments from any of you.
Dr. Engman, I hear you have a keynote speaker identified.
Yes. And Maria, that's Sandra. Sandra's not with us. She's who is it that we're getting? Do you remember, Maria?
Of course I do remember. Our keynote.
I'm here.
Thank you for saving me. Who is it?
Our keynote speaker for this year is Leslie Bison. And we are incredibly excited for him to bring up topics that are going to be of interest of our high schoolers. We're going to talk about sports medicine. We're going to talk about the Buffalo Bills, and we're going to inspire these students to take an interest in all the science behind that line of work. So he has already agreed to participate. We are working out the details as we speak, and we're super excited to have him for all the work he has done at UB.
Thank you, Maria. Any other questions or comments?
Well, quick comment from me. It is impressive, what you've been doing, frankly. So very excited that it came to our attention and happy to support in any way that we can. I know that the health sciences are supporting with some sponsorship and hopefully that helps as well. But one of the things that I just thought about in listening to your presentation is that we sort of joke about this, but I came across, I came situated in what I do professionally, out of happenstance over a period of time of working in higher education and then finally working in higher education, then being exposed to the research side of things. But, Maureen is on the call and, Dean Waptowski-Wendy is here. And so I wonder, would it help if maybe some of us who are health science or research related administrators were to come and talk about how we're sort of engaged in the process. We're not, working at the bench or anything like that, but we are part of the research enterprise on campus, because we always joke and say, nobody ever thinks about this in high school, frankly.
Right.
It just sort of happens, or is that really not a good fit?
Maria?
Yes, I'm sorry, I was answering a question in the chat.
Oh, no, because it's the health sciences, it was a question about health sciences, so.
Right. So I say that at this point from the health sciences, we have around 15 sessions, more or less, but we do welcome any recommendation for a presenter, because we are trying to establish a list of presenters that if they don't make it for any reason for this year, they will always get invited for next year. The work that every single one of you is doing is always evolving. So we would love to have be in touch through the year for any type of new presentation or new discovery or any new topic of interest that can be a presentation. And we can certainly offer you a list, Jean. We'll get it to you as soon as we're done here.
Yeah, I saw a question whether we can provide a list of the sessions that have already been identified, Maria. So no problem doing that.
Yeah, I just got off. I'm the one sending the questions.
Yes, good. Thank you. Thank you.
So I would really like to know, and I'm going to speak on behalf of all the health science schools. I think it's great that Dr. Bisson is presenting, because he can talk about sports medicine, but we have a lot of programs between public health, medicine, pharmacy, nursing, that are all STEM-based.
Yeah.
And, often, being able, even our exercise science nutrition programs, a lot of students don't even fully know that those are programs. They think about basic biology, chemistry, physics, but these are more applied. So if we could get that list, and Jill and I could share it with the other deans, I bet we'll come up with another group of offerings this year. I'd love the opportunity to be able to do this, and but I'd like to know what we have in place already and what we could do to develop a few more, at least for my school, I know, but I envision the other schools would appreciate the opportunity as well. It's so great. 900 students is remarkable.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And these are already confirmed schools attending. They have already registered. So this is not an if we are reaching 900. And let me explain a little bit how that works, because I want to answer the questions from Pratibha saying if it's being involved. So this is a high school. We are going directly to high schools throughout Western New York. So this is really considered like a field trip. So the students go with their school and where the teachers, science teachers, or anybody that is in charge of the group. So in that regard, we are going directly to the schools to register the students. And then the teachers are the ones who state who is coming. So that is basically the modality that we have to bring in the students. Beam, I know it's, I'm very familiar with the program, and they most likely those students will attend because of Buffalo Public School. I am not really sure, but I am going to check with them to see if they are already on this visit. We do have a cap this year to 900, but I am pretty sure they're gonna be there. I do not see how come we would have not have them there, but they go through the school, not through the BEAM program in particular.
Oh.
I hope that answers.
Yeah, I run the Young Doctors Club at Health Sciences Charter School, and I have never brought kids there. I was wondering how would you be coming to the school if we run this every Wednesday afternoon? We run the Young Doctors Club at the Health Sciences Charter School. So how do I coordinate? Would you come to the school, or we should come to this? Or how do we apply?
So for the, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead, Maria. No.
I'm just saying, when you say come to the school, do you mean as a presenter, or do you mean that the group the group that you gather with at your school are students and you would like them to participate of this program?
It is both ways. We have first year medical students who also come to the Health Sciences Charter School, and we have a Young Doctors Club where we do dissection, suturing, and we discuss different topics. Okay. We had a Medical Jeopardy program. So we do little different activities with the kids Wednesday afternoon. And then we take them on field trips.
Okay.
Like the MRI place, and a lot of field trips we have for them over the year.
So what we can do, Pratibha, I hope I am saying that right, is we can send you a message internally, and we can make the arrangements for those students to attend if it's possible, or maybe they are already attending. We don't know. It all depends on what school they belong to.
Maria, can you hear me?
Yes.
Maria, can you hear me? Okay,
Yes.
This is Sandra Small. So sorry, I was
finally.
driving.
Hi,
Yeah,
Sandra.
I've been here. I've been here. I was driving around North Campus trying to find parking. Closing furnace lot is a really terrible thing. I'm headed to another meeting, but let me weigh in on that. So Health Sciences is signed up for this year. I don't know which students, how they're identifying their students, but I can put you in touch with the teacher who is coordinating their participation. And then also, I know somebody had sent an email asking about Williamsville North, and I have not responded to it yet, but if that person is on the call, Williamsville, all three of the Williamsvilles are signed up to bring students. And that was coordinated through the district science coordinator. So again, I don't know how the schools are picking who's coming, but those two schools are listed.
How many students can come?
We say 40 per school, but we are very, very close to capacity at this point. So we might not be able to have them participate this year, but we would definitely put your name or the school's name on for a contact for next year.
Okay, if Health Sciences is already, we have 15 students who belong to the Young Doctors Club, so you could at least bring them.
Yeah, so I can email you and tell you who is coordinating. I forget her name, and you can just ask if she's identified the students yet, but maybe those spots can go to the Young Doctors Club, because that sounds perfect.
Yeah, okay.
Sandra,
and then the other thing, just before I walk into this building, I have to leave you all, is this is not just for UB presenters. So if you have any contacts outside of the university at companies or organizations or other institutions who you think have something cool to show and share, definitely put us in contact with them. It's heavily UB. We want to brand this UB. We want to make sure people know it's UB, but our alumni go out and do some great things.
Sandra, Before
Yeah.
it's Jill, before you jump off,
Yes.
I had floated the question and I think got lost in the conversation. What do you think if we put a small group together between the work that you do in the space to support the sciences, the work that our office does, like the work that Jean's team does, and like a Bill Bauer and that sort of thing, so that people can see that there's a way to engage, but it doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, truly the science path, but you can still be engaged in the effort.
I like that idea. That sounds like the teachers would love that, because I think it's really important for the teachers to hear that, because they're the ones who are helping to guide the students. And like we said, the teachers are invited to go to all the sessions as well. So that's something we could do. I'm thinking like as a table at the opening and
Okay.
as a session.
Okay.
And maybe a table set up in the hospitality room, which is where the teachers can kind of hang out, go get their lunch, take a little break from the fun.
Okay. I'll pitch you an email about it and we can talk about it. And then Dean Wechtowski, Wendy was saying, are these mostly juniors? Are they seniors? Is it a mix?
It is a mix between freshmen to seniors.
You have to realize that are the teachers the ones that select the students who attend this? So it can be anybody, actually.
But I would
If there
expect
was
the preponderance.
no, sorry, I'm just thinking of public health, and I know I saw Ebatale on the call, but if like if public health wants a table, and I think this should be a thing if we didn't do it last year, in the beginning when the students are kind of filtering in and hanging out, getting their schedules, planning their day, there's time for them to look around some tables. So last year we had a good representation from School of Medicine, but I would love to increase that this year. And so that's a great opportunity to promote like summer camps and summer programs. So I know public health has some good programs, and pharmacy as well. So that's a great opportunity to promote those to students and teachers.
Okay. Anybody else have any?
Well, I wanted to say something a while ago. I'd just like to follow up on something Jean said that's been a powerful thought for me for years. And, you know, you look at high school students, where are they going to go when they go into university? What disciplinary areas are they interested in? They don't know half of what is available to them. And that's the big thing. One of the powerful things about this. How many kids say, I want to go into ophthalmology, for instance? They don't know what it is. Now they have somebody who's presenting and it's engaging, it's of interest to them. Oh, I never thought about that. Probably high schools. I'm in Canada. Oh, I went to UB, so I'm affiliated with UB, but here our guidance counselors in high schools, I don't think do nearly a good enough job in preparing students for the university. So we're hoping that this will allow students to get a better understanding of the kinds of things that they might be interested in that they didn't know about. So
Well, thanks to each of you again for taking the time to jump on. I will definitely work with Sandra, Maria, and Dr. Engman to continue to promote this and make sure that our faculty are aware of it. But we're happy to share out the video and share out the information. And just thank you for everything that you're doing. The fact that you've been doing this for 30 years, I can only imagine, and what we've talked about is trying to figure out some sort of correlation with the enrollment team as to how you have not only interested people in the fields, but also in the university with the work that you've been doing. So really impressive.
thank you.
We're
happy to do it. It's a labor of love for us, right, Maria?
That is completely right. We are a team of people that are super passionate about this cause, and we go above and beyond to accommodate as many students as possible, as many sessions as possible, because we truly, truly believe this is a great opportunity for the students to see what's out there. And it's not only medicine, it's not only nursing. That is one thing, but also to showcase all the passionate, deep work that we all are doing in the health sciences and in STEM in general. So really, really proud of the work that we're doing.
Yeah, I
Well
have
said.
one question. Do you have somebody come to the school and do things also?
You mean to the
Like
school,
I
to the
yeah,
medical school?
no, to the high school, if I can invite you to do something. Is there some mechanism for speakers or something like that?
We have in the past been requested by certain departments or professors to provide a liaison with high schools or students, either for the students to come to the university for a particular camp, or maybe for professors to go to the schools. So if you're interested, you're more than happy to provide that liaison with high school teachers for you.
Yeah, because I do it every Wednesday, so I could always use some expertise from somebody else other than what little I know and what I do
Okay.
to get rid of the monotony of my face.
Sounds good.
So that's what, and I have to come up with ideas every Wednesday, something new or different.
Yeah, and this is a great also an opportunity for you to network with all the presenters and network it that way.
Yeah, that would be good.
You see, so that way you can just like a student will, you can just roam the space and get to talk to presenters, and that way you can develop a program for your students. That would be great. I'm sure they will appreciate it. And these are people that are super committed in presenting their work. So I have no doubt that they will be willing to help in other initiatives as well with presentations.
No, yeah, so if there is some contact that can be sent to me, I can pursue that.
We'll make sure you get an invitation, Pratibha.
Yeah, I'm retired now, so I'm doing this almost full time now, putting my brain into the high school kids and the
Nice.
first year medical
Excellent.
students.
Good for
You're
you.
doing a million things,
Yeah.
Dr. Bob. So thank you for everything that you're doing to help us. Well, thank you to each of you. This was our last session for the semester, wrapping up from the health sciences team. So thanks again for everything that you're doing, and happy holidays to everybody.